All right, Lions fans, what's up? Hey, we are going to get into this. The Lions just got phenomenal injury news. In fact, I read this 9 minutes ago. I saw this and I'm like, I got to make a video. I got to make it right now. I think this is something that we anticipated happening, but they just got great news on the injury front. Before we get into that, we have a Twitter now. X, whatever you want to call it. Make sure to search Sports Talk Detroit, find us, tweet with us, all that good stuff. Want to be more interactive with all of you. This has been a phenomenal community. We've only been on YouTube, so we're trying to kind of spread out and expand our horizons here. So, what is this phenomenal news that the Lions got, and how should it affect us, especially going against the Chargers coming off the bye week? And the injury news is that David Montgomery, it says he is expected to return. In fact, right here, it says he is due to return for the Lions Week 10 matchup with the Chargers. Dave Burkett of the Detroit Free Press reports. So he is expected to be there. Dave Burkett, reliable source. And if you want even more, they parted ways with the number 4 running back, Devine Ozigbo, last Thursday, signaling that they believe even more so that he is going to be there. I think another reason why you could expect him to be there is they knew what it was. They knew it was a rib cartilage injury. And that's it. It sounds painful. All right, that sounds painful. But he's had 4 full weeks to recover. And they didn't put him on the IR. So if they expected this to be a thing that takes 5 or 6 weeks to recover, they would have put him on the IR. And so with the fact that Montgomery's had a history in his past of healing quickly and not being super injury prone, I would say everything points to him coming back. All right, so now the question is, what does that look like with Jahmyr Gibbs? So first, let's look at the matchup. Let's talk about how I think they're going to split carries and what the workload is going to look like and why this is super exciting, because with Montgomery out, Gibbs had a breakthrough week going into the bye. Breakthrough week. He has proven he can handle a heavier load. And for the first time, I think you are going to truly see a dual threat tandem running back core from the Detroit Lions, exactly as it was planned. Montgomery is going to still be solid. He's going to do what he's going to do. And Gibbs, it's going to be thunder and lightning. That's the way it's going to go. I don't know how else to say it. So first, let's look at the matchup. The LA Chargers have not been great against the run. According to PFF, their defensive run grade is 24th out of 32 NFL teams. They're in the bottom third, almost bottom fourth of the league in run defense. Their overall defense is rated at 22nd. When you look at their team and what they're doing based on points allowed through only 7 weeks, they actually kind of follow that. They're giving up about 25 points a game. Their defense just isn't great. Their offense, however, can be absolutely lethal. So we need to watch out for that. But one of the best ways to stop a good offense is keep them off the field with a solid running game. And now the Detroit Lions are going to have a full complement in that backfield. So what do I expect this to look like? What do I expect this to look like? And I think it starts by, let's go ahead and let's just take a look at what our running stats have been this year. And I think it can give us a good idea. Now, we did a video on this where I was kind of shocked. I didn't do a video. I actually tweeted this. Didn't realize Jahmyr Gibbs had more rushing yards now than David Montgomery. And he's done it on 18 less carries. So if you look down here, Gibbs is leading the team with 399 yards. He is averaging 5.3 yards per carry, while Montgomery has 385, only 14 yards behind him, averaging 4.1. Reynolds is actually averaging more yards per carry than Monty is. I'm not saying Reynolds is better than Montgomery. I'm telling you right now, I am not saying that. All right, so when we look at all these things, we start to realize, okay, what does this look like? And in the 5 games that Montgomery's playing, he has 94 carries, and then receiving, he has 6 catches. So in those games, he has exactly 100 touches in 5 games. Now, he's been hurt, but that 20 touch thing seems about right. Gibbs has 76 carries while having 28 receptions. So 28 plus 76, I don't know, quick math, 104, something like that over 6 games. So he's more in that 15, 16 touch radius. I would expect this to almost flip. I would expect the running backs to get somewhere between 35 and 45 touches combined. If the offense is clicking, it gets higher. If it's not, it stays lower. And I would expect it to be 2015 Gibbs to Montgomery. And if they get in that 40 or more range, I expect it to even out more in the 2020 range. I think this is a true split backfield with these guys doing different things. If Montgomery gets 17 carries with 3 targets, then Gibbs is going to get 15 carries with 7 targets. Like, that's just the way I see this going. And when you see the explosiveness that Gibbs can provide, it's going to be hard to take him off the field. The only thing you want to do is you want to preserve him going forward this season. The good news is he hasn't had a ton of touches going forward already through halfway through the year. I mean, he's on pace to have 120 or 220 touches. No, you're going to get that up. You want that to be closer to 250, 260 by the end of the year, because he has now shown that he is solid. But David Montgomery allows him to rest. It allows his body to recover between reps. It allows him to be at full strength when he's in there. But I think Gibbs has now shown the ability that they are going to put him in a lot more. They're going to put him in a lot more. That's just the way that it's going to be done this year. So the Lions went from David Montgomery being better than we thought he would be and playing really, really well to getting injured, and now Gibbs being exactly what we hoped he would be. So now you have a Montgomery who's better than we thought, with a Gibbs who's everything we had hoped with the number 12 pick. And what that does when you combine that with our offensive line and people getting healthy off the bye, I'm telling you, this is an offense that has kind of, I don't want to say sputtered, because they sputtered getting in the end zone against the Raiders, but they played really well against the Raiders. This is an offense that hasn't looked like it's firing on all cylinders for about a month now. I would expect against the Chargers that this is an offense that can look to be firing on all cylinders. We know that this can happen. We know that this can happen. And I understand that this game's in LA, but we've seen the way the Lions fans have traveled this year, and we see what happens at Chargers and Rams games. When you have teams that aren't winning in LA, you have a remarkable amount of fans from the away team that are there. I would expect the Lions to have 30 to 40% of the stadium. I would expect this to be almost like a bowl neutral site game. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think it could happen. I really do. It's going to be hard to tell because the colors are similar. But I really do think there could be a ton of Lions fans there. I know it's across the country. I understand it's across the country, but I think there's a lot of Michigan and Lions transplants living in LA already. That's what LA is. So great injury news ahead of this game. Honestly, kind of needed it, because this is a tough game to get a W on. But I think if our offense can score 30 plus points, which I think they absolutely can on this defense, we got a good shot to go on the road and get a victory. And thanks to David Montgomery, I think we are set to do it. All right. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter, like this video, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on more. Thanks for watching.